Good afternoon, Zigzagoon, and welcome to the premier Pokermon channel on YouTube. I'm your eponymous host, Shadowcloak, and today we have the second episode of our Pokerdex series, where we take a more in-depth look at specific jokers, starting with the commons. Since we started off with the Molt Joker in episode 1, be sure to check that one out too, I feel it's appropriate to continue with a Chips Joker, so let's talk a little bit about Geodude. So, as far as jokers go, Geodude is pretty straightforward. It's a common joker, and it gives you plus 75 chips at the cost of one hand size. This might not sound like much at first, but if you compare it to Beedrill, for instance, you get almost as many chips without having to do the work of evolving. Given that, with a smaller hand, you'll be more incentivized to play smaller hands such as pairs or high cards, the additional chips will matter even more. After 4 rounds, Geodude evolves into Graveler, and it more than doubles the chip bonus to plus 175 chips, at the cost of yet another hand size. At this point, 5-card hands start to become unviable, but all you need is some decent source of Molt and you'll be able to clear rounds with no problem. Note also that Graveler is a rare joker, so it is possible to find it in the shop, though it obviously won't happen often. However, Golem, Graveler's evolution, is a Safari joker, which means that you won't find it in the shop at all. The only way to get there is to use a linking cord with Graveler in your Joker tab, and it's kind of funny if you think about it. Why, you might ask? Well, Golem ups the chips bonus to plus 275, but now you have 3 total minus hand size, so unless you find additional hand size from another source, you'll only be seeing 5 cards per hand. This makes even playing pairs somewhat complicated, so your best bet is usually to go for high card. Playing high cards, however, means that the linking cord is mostly useless to you. If you are playing high card, that means you won't be able to get much scoring out of the cards themselves, which in turn means that you'll have to rely on getting a lot of Molt out of your Joker tab. You'll still look for Pluto cards to increase your high card level, but the Molt of the high card scales pretty slowly, so it's not nearly enough on its own. Considering that the final boss usually needs a score of 400,000 to clear, with an average of 4 hands, we'd need a score of about 100,000 per hand. With the Golem providing 275 chips to each hand, we'd need 364 Molt to get to the required 100,000, which seems a bit daunting. However, with 3 energy, the Golem almost doubles its chips contribution, lowering the required Molt to less than 200, which is a lot more reasonable of an ask. So, let's get into some gameplay and see how to get the most out of Geodude. Alright, let's see what kind of shenanigans we can pull off with Geodude. So the boss, the club, all clubs are debuffed, doesn't really matter. And we're not interested in any of these skip tags. The rare skip tag can be fun sometimes, but on Gold Stake it's just too risky, with the high odds that your rare joker is going to be eternal or perishable or a rental or not exactly what you're looking for. So that's not worth it. Let's just go to the first round. So if we take a look here, right, we get a 2-pair. That's 60 plus 75, 135. That's not quite enough to one-shot. So maybe what we can do is try to find a flush. And we found a flush. Now we're guaranteed, okay. You're not always going to be able to play flushes with Geodude, especially the evolutions, right? That your hand gets smaller and smaller. But we take those while we can. So, Geodude is already giving us a bunch of scoring. Lediba would be great at first. Having some plus Molt, even basic plus Molt is great. But I'm not a big fan of this Eternal tag, which means that we won't be able to get rid of Lediba later, when we need more Molt than what Ledian is capable of providing, right? So if it wasn't Eternal, I'd take it in a snap, but as an Eternal, I'm gonna say no and say we can find something better. What we could do is maybe take this linking cord. We're gonna need the linking cord to evolve Graveler into Golem, right? Golem is really where we want to get to. But maybe that's a bit too early, we don't need to do that now. We could open this Buffoon pack, but the odds that we find exactly a plus Molt that we're looking for are not great, and we don't need anything to survive as of yet, so I'm just going to save my money for now. Let's go to the next round. Okay, so hopefully we can find another flush here. That's not quite it. We saw that 2-pair wasn't quite getting us there, but even if we don't do it in one shot, that's fine. Okay, we would like to see at least one clubs card, please. And nope. Alright. Well, though, actually, that was one. Let's try one more time. And now we got it. Okay. So, one more hand than I expected, but that's absolutely fine. Let's see what's in the next shop. Here we have a Venonat. I love lucky cards. I love playing this style of game in general. But with only 5 cards in hand, and we're usually going to be playing high card or pairs, so we're not going to be triggering all that many lucky cards, so probably not worth it to take the Venonat here, even though there are a lot of synergies. We have 2 packs here that we could take. Let's see, with 13 bucks it would go down to just $1 of interest if we take either of these. So maybe let's just skip and save our money for now. We can still beat the boss here. Let's try to go for the flush again. Maybe get a little bit luckier this time around. And we did. Is this gonna one-shot maybe? Oof. Just a little bit short. That's fine. 2 hands is perfectly okay. And we're gonna get an evolution soon. But it would still be nice to have a little bit of Molt. Quagsire is a great source of Molt. Do we want to pay that money? Probably. So maybe let's do that. Oh, this is great. We're going to take the paintbrush. So one of the downsides, right, to make up for the large amount of chips that they've given Golem, the whole line anyway, is minus hand size. So by taking these vouchers, right, the paintbrush and later on the palette, you basically negate the downside. But we don't have to take it now, right? We can save our money for a little bit of interest. So let's take this for now, and let's see if we can find some money or something in here. That's not quite what we were looking for. With Geodude, we're not going to be doing flushes. Well, with Graveler and Golem especially. So this isn't really worth it. The Justice card is also not exactly what we're looking for. Chariot, not great. We're not going to have a lot of cards in hand, right? So I guess we'll just take this. Nope, okay. Let's just go next then. We're going to one-shot here. We don't have anything that we're particularly looking for, so let's just go ahead. We can play whatever, right? No gold cards or anything like that. So let's do this 2-pair maybe. Why not? It really doesn't matter. It's going to win automatically with this scoring here. Okay. There we go. So that's going to sustain us for a while, but obviously it's by itself it's not a long-term plan. This, however, is pretty interesting. We have Grimer here. So Muck, I think, is one of the better jokers to play with Graveler or Golem, because it's going to give us a bunch of plus Molt, basically, right? So the Graveler takes care of the chips, the Muck takes care of most of the Molt, right? So we have a lot of room to play around. With this Muck, we probably don't need the Quagsire. Let's take this, take the egg, because $1, why not? Let's open this pocket pack, see what we have here. Alright, we could take the Thunderstone, maybe get some gold. But with a smaller hand size, not really guaranteed. I think for now I'm just going to take this energy. Since Graveler is a chips joker, a flat chips joker, every energy gives us a big boost, right? So we go from 175 to 228. And we really do want to get this Golem to level 3 as soon as possible. So the question now is, do we keep this Quagsire? We don't have a lot of money, we don't have a lot of economy, so in this case, I'm gonna maybe keep it one more round until the Grimer gets a little bit of Molt, right? Although we could arguably win with just the chips, but let's keep it for now. Alright, let's play a pair. Okay. Now, Grimer has some Molt, we can sell this Quagsire. It's been helpful, but we can find other stuff. Okay, we still have, well, not still, we actually have the boss upcoming already, and I really want this voucher, so I think I'm going to do just that. The Bunnyiri could be an option for a little bit of plus Molt, right, and when you have low Punny, a little bit of X Molt, but with just 6 cards in hand, it's going to be pretty hard, right, to match up the cards with the foresight. So probably not worth it. Let's just take this. and hope that we find some money soon. Okay. Definitely don't have, but the rocket is the kind of boss that is pretty easy with when you have a source of chips like this. Well, chips and malt. You really don't care about what hand you're playing. And this is one of the advantages of playing this kind of style, right? So here we can just do the 2 pair, and it'll breeze us through. Okay, let's see what, well, not yet, but we'll see what we get in that egg. What about here? Okay, we definitely want this, but we don't have to take it now. The Super Rod is great because for the pocket packs it really doesn't matter, but for the Arcana packs, being able to save your death cards and justices and things like that really helps, right? So you can put them all on the right cards. Over here we could take this Weeping Bell, but it's going to be hard to find the cards that were specific cards, I mean. And we already have a bunch of chips, and though the retrigger with the Victory Bell is nice, it's not exactly down the road we are going. I would normally take this Sneasel, but with the Grimer / Muck, we actually want more cards in the deck, not fewer. This is a great source of money, and we don't really have one right now. But, yeah, we just want more cards in the deck. So let's go next. This boss is going to be pretty annoying. We're going to have to get some kind of cheap Joker, right? Because it transforms the rightmost Joker into a Ditto. Fortunately, we have room for that. So let's just go next. Here we have a flush, sure. That makes things easier. We did 2,700 in the last round, right? So a high card wouldn't have made it. But there we go. And we got a Ditto, sure. Okay. Let's see what's next. We got a couple packs I'd like to open, but again, we're short on money. The only money making that we're doing right now is with the interest. So maybe we don't open these packs. What I'm going to do instead is take this Machop. Eventually evolving it to Machamp, right? We're going to get +4 hands, -4 hands, and a little bit of Molt. The Molt isn't super significant, but that's fine, right? We have the Grimer. What we really want is the +4 hands. That basically doubles the amount of hands we can play. And sure, we can't discard, but with Graveler and Muck, we don't really care about discarding, right? We can just play whatever. So this is going to work really well for us. Let's take that, and we still have 1 round to save up some money, because we really want this Super Rod. This Ditto, we can just sell it. We're not going to use it. If it didn't make a perishable copy, it would be great. Although maybe not so great to copy the Golem and get basically no hand size. Let's move on. Maybe we can open this pocket pack here, right? We still have the same interest. And there's nothing great, of course. We don't care about ranks. Maybe the Terra Orb, we save it. Nothing else that's really great, right? We could take this Shiny Stone, but the odds that we're going to find exactly the card that we're looking for are really not good with no discards. So let's just keep this in the tab, I guess. Maybe it turns into something interesting. Let's go next. Gotta remember to get a Joker as fodder for the Ditto. Let's see, maybe we can try to find a flush here. No flush. That's fine, I guess we'll just play this. Oh, we can maybe do this. Probably not going to win in 1. Yeah, no, definitely not. But we do win in 2, so that's fine. Let's just do this. Oh, wait. Terra Orb is on Earth. That's exactly what we want. Great. So if you're unfamiliar, right, the Terra Orb, it changes every time you play a hand, right? It changes type. So if you want to, you can just stash it over here and play your hands until you get what you want. It's usually not worth it, but depending on the game, especially when you get one for free, right? You got nothing else better to do. Why not? Alright. Ooh, we finally found some money. Okay, there's a lot of stuff to take here and not a lot of money. So we're going to be able to make some back with this Kricketot. We really want this Super Rod. How are we going to do this? Maybe let's get this first. Since we're going to be able to make some money back, I'm going to open this Arcana pack. What do we find here? Not much. But we can take this Judgment to use as the fodder for the Ditto. right? Doduo, no one cares about that. So let's just take this Kricketot. We're playing singles or pairs, or high card in pairs anyway. And let's move on. No consideration for the Slugma there, that's not what we're doing. Let's go on. Okay, we can sell this Ditto to get a little bit more interest. We still don't have a super amount of molt, so let's just... That might actually be good, since we can get farmed the Kricketot a little bit more, so let's see what we can do here. Yeah, maybe just play this high card, there we go. That gives us 3,200, okay, so another high card wins, probably. Maybe if it's low enough, it doesn't. Guess we try. That'll give us a pair, so this is probably gonna win, right? Maybe like this. Well, not super important, but yeah, a little bit too much, but that's fine. Now it's gonna be too much. Okay, still have a few rounds with Kricketot. When the Graveler evolves to Golem, it's going to be a bit harder to make the hands with the 4 different suits. But it's a perishable anyway, so let's just farm it while we can, shall we? Alright, Zubat, not interested. We're playing high card and pair mostly, and the bonuses that Zubat accumulates aren't that great in the end. You really need to have a lot of economy to get a lot of buffoon packs, pocket packs and arcana packs to enhance your cards so that the Golbat can drain them, and even then it doesn't get that much scoring. But yeah, so we're definitely not interested in that. Smoochum, Jinx is maybe kind of a combo with Muk since you're trying to increase your deck size as much as possible. But playing cards being duplicated is not really that much more, and getting plus hand size is not super important since we don't intend to make specific hands, right? Just play whatever. So let's just check what's in this buffoon pack. Trubbish could be nice, but we're making money. We got a bunch of chips, and well, actually, it's non-bow with the Machoke, right? If you read actually Garbodor. Alright, gains +5 chips per discard if no discards are used. But there are no discards to be not used, right? So it's not going to grow ever. So maybe we'll just take it to sell it, right? Paris, we're not really going to be looking for 2 pairs, especially when Machop evolves. We're not going to have any discards anymore. So let's just sell this. Maybe open this Celestial pack. Get a Mercury or a Pluto, none of which are here. So what we can do, now that we have the rod, is save this and sell it to get above the interest cap. So let's do that. Although, of course, we're going to make some money with the Kricketot, but... okay, so here we got a pair. Probably 2 hands wins regardless, so let's do that. And we got another one. No, we're missing a clubs card. So let's look for a club. Throw these. Yep. There's the club. Okay. And there's more money. One of the downsides with Machop is that it takes a little bit of time to evolve, right? 5 rounds. And it really doesn't help with the scoring, at least at first, right? The Machamp's 20 molt isn't amazing, but at least it's something. But +2 hardly makes a difference. Anyway, what's in this shop? We got an Emperor, that's pretty cool. Jupiter, we're not interested. We might open this. Do we want this Tarot Merchant? That is a good question. The boss debuffs a random type, that's fine, it's not a big deal. So maybe we do, but we don't have to take it now, right? Let's check what's in this thing. I guess, yeah, let's just open this one, see what we get here. Something better to fool, and there is something better to fool. Is there anything else we want here? The Chariot, not particularly. I mean, we'll take them if there's nothing else, right? But not very likely to find them with small hands and no discards. So the sun doesn't matter. Could take the High Priestess, but we want to keep this Devil for now. At least it's $3. So I guess we'll take this Judgment, then Hermit and Fool. So let's do that. Gives us Magmar. Unfortunately, not great with Machop. Well, with Machop you still have one discard. But then with Machoke you have no more discards on gold. So Magmar can't really do anything. And it doesn't get that much Molt anyway. So let's just take this Hermit. There's absolutely no need to save it. Just use it again. We don't want this Magmar, but I guess we can keep it here for now. Let's do a little bit of re-rolling. Essentially, we're looking for one more Joker to give us some X-Molt, and that should be enough to carry us to the end, but nothing yet. So, Lickitung, no, we don't want anything that has to do with specific ranks, right? We're never going to be able to find them as we need them. So let's keep rolling. Maybe one more time. Don't want to reroll too much, right? Because the next chop is gonna reset the reroll counter, right? So you're gonna end up spending less money to get the same amount of rerolls. So maybe let's just open the Celestial Pack and move on. Here we have a Pluto. That's great. No need to save that one. Let's get rid of this Magmar. We don't need you, and do the big blind. Okay. Here we are looking for a club again. There's a club, okay. Maybe make this king to a devil. I don't think we're not gonna win in one. Maybe not even in two. But it doesn't hurt. Let's do that. Okay, should be. It's gonna be close actually. But maybe it's even better if it doesn't win. We could get one more trigger here. So let's try this. Oh, great. Well, maybe not so great because we didn't find a diamond card, but that's okay. Let's just move on to the next one. Okay, finally this guy's gonna evolve soon, and this guy's gonna evolve too. Give us, hopefully, some tarot cards. Okay, Bulbasaur. +1 hand size, pretty useful. But getting money for cards held in hand, not so great with no discards and no hand size, even though it gives us a little bit more. Bulbasaur is hard enough to make work very well when you have a normal hand size. Maybe if we didn't have the Graveler, right, it would be very cool. We have the paintbrush, right? Maybe we can find the palette later. But it's just not worth it. We're making some money here. We can find another source of money. There are better things to do. So let's check out what's in these packs. Okay, we got an energy for the Machop. We've got a Thunderstone to give us a bit of money and a few more cards for Muck. The other three don't really matter. Since what you get for Muck for each extra card is only +3, I think it's going to be more interesting to just use this fighting energy here. Let's check out the Celestial Pack. No Mercury, no Pluto, no interest. Okay. Do we take this Tarot Merchant? I'm gonna say no for two reasons. First, we're really gonna need either an X-Molt Joker or another Joker that gives us a bunch of plus Molt at least. And when we take the Tarot Merchant, Joker cards appear less frequently in the shop, right? Because you're gonna get more tarot cards. I don't know exactly how the math works in Pokermon, but given that you also have items and energies. But either way, the end result is that you're going to see fewer Jokers, and that's what we really need. And we don't really need deck manipulation, right? We don't really care too much about that. We're just playing whatever as it comes. So I'm going to skip this for now and just do a little bit of re-rolling, maybe. Mime Jr. cares about cards in hand, not what we're looking for. Tower doesn't matter. This one cares about suits. We can't do that. This is not worth it for $3. Weasel is pretty cool. Another great combo with Muck. But we already have our chips. We don't need too many more. We can do better than that. Maybe do one more reroll. We don't need chips, and we don't need chips. So let's just go to the boss. Okay, we're missing a diamond. Could play the 3 of a kind. It doesn't really matter. There's the diamond. There's the $4. Okay, so we're not going to get the chip, so we're definitely going to have another hand to play. So let's do this, maybe? Sure. There's $4. Okay, now we're probably going to win. We have one of you. Maybe if we try playing the high card? Does that score? Well, basically the same. Alright. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Let's go. Ooh, we get one more hand. That's great. And we still have a discard, so let's try to find the spade. There's the spade. Alright. That's a lot of money. So even though this cricket tot, it's a perishable, right? Or cricket tune now. It's just making us so much money. It's definitely worth it. Not every build is going to be able to, you know, match the suits all the time. But since we don't care about the cards that we're playing, right? All of our scoring is up here. This kind of economy joker works great. Psyduck would actually be pretty neat too. But we don't really need gold cards. We don't need to pay this rental. So let's just add some cards for Muck, right? Doesn't really matter which ones. So here we can take... we're not going to have any discards for the purple seal, so let's take this one and this one. And try this pack. Again, no discards, so let's take this guy. Right? Basically, we just want to add as many cards as possible since we don't care about what they actually are. And sure, we're not going to have great odds of seeing the 7, but it's better than a regular card, right? So with the Muck, I think that there is genuine justification to taking the magic trick. But again, we don't want to eat up the slots in the shop quite yet, right? We're still looking for more scoring. Our scoring is fine for now, but it scales exponentially, right? So let's maybe just do some rerolls. Okay, could take this Pikachu. It's not a ton of scoring and it's not a ton of money, but it's a little bit of each, and we got a slot still. So let's do that. And maybe now save our money, go next. Okay, so here we have one of each. Let's see how much that gets us. That's a lot more than I expected. That's okay though. We'll do... Well, we still have one discard, so maybe we can find the gold seal. I guess that's the only thing that we would really care about. Why not? Nope. Okay. So, there we go. Do we get a tarot this time? No tarot this time. That's fine. Okay, finally, we have our Machoke. Now we're looking for a linking cord. Right. We're already at 0 discards, so having the difference between -2 and -4 is nothing. And getting +2 hands is obviously very cool. So let's just feed the Muck a little bit here. Take this gold card, sure. Here we can take this silver seal card. This is the kind of card that's cool because you can just let it sit in your hand, and then whatever you play becomes an item. Pretty cool. We're not going to find it too often, but it doesn't hurt to have it there. Let's do one reroll maybe. Not what we're looking for, not what we're looking for. We don't need chips, we're not doing flushes, we're not discarding cards, so let's do one more. Still have 4 turns of Kricketune. Okay. There's a 2 pair. One of each suit. And 24, yeah, so we only have one more, so let's do this. Now we don't have any discards to look for the 1 or 2 interesting cards we could get. The Hangman, we definitely don't care about that. We don't want to make our Muck smaller. So let's check out what's in this standard pack. Here we have a Polychrome. Normally this kind of card would be great, or maybe this holographic glass. But Polychrome isn't going to score anything, the glass isn't going to score anything, so let's just take these pink seals, right? Maybe we can get some free energies along the way. What's in this pocket pack? Here we've got some more... Oh, there's the linking cord. Do we want to use it now is the question, because... Well, actually, no, it doesn't matter, right? We don't have any discards anyway. Oh, yeah, it's because the linking cord is also needed for the golem. So maybe what we can do is this. We'll use the linking cord to evolve the Machoke for now. Then when the Kricketune is gone, we can find one for the Graveler. I'm not going to even use it on any cards, because our cards ranks don't matter at all. So let's just evolve our Machoke. Do maybe 1 or 2 more rerolls. No here, and no here, so the boss's first hand face down. Really doesn't matter. The thing is, we want to match the suits, right? So maybe what we can do is try to guess and do something like this. How's that? Ah, nuts. Oh well, that's fine. Now we can try to guess the other suits, I guess. Okay, so this is probably a heart card. This is maybe a club, could be a diamond. What about this guy? Yeah, so maybe these two are diamonds. So let's do this. How about that? There we go. We get a world. Unfortunately, that doesn't really matter. But now we have our 4 extra hands. Get it? Because Machamp has 4 hands. Anyway, let's check these packs. What's in here? Strength we don't care about. Sun we don't care about. Lovers we don't care about. I guess we spin the wheel. Oh, look at that. That certainly doesn't hurt. Okay, we're not going to take the rival. We don't particularly need money. Well, maybe I should say we don't need money that desperately. Still 3 rounds. Well, 2 until we get to the boss, so it's going to cost us $6 there, and we don't have any slots, and yada yada. Let's just open the Celestial pack. There's a Pluto. Maybe do 1 or 2 rerolls. We don't have any Watermons. We're already going down the high card path, and when Graveler evolves to Muck, we get -1 hand size, so maybe making pairs becomes a little bit harder. Let's do 1 more. That's not what we need right now, so let's go next. Boss here is cards are drawn face down. That doesn't matter for us. That's good. Okay, over here we have... Well, we can do this. Wait, oops. There we go. Maybe play the high card. Doesn't matter so much. Okay, let's sell this in case Kricketune wants to give us another tarot card. It does not, but that's fine. Oh, pity didn't have this one before. But here we can just get 4 more bucks, maybe a tarot. No tarot again. That's okay. Just cry in the corner here. Alright. Next, let's try this. Maybe do a couple rerolls before we open the pack. There's a Hermit. No, never mind that. Oh, that sounded wrong. I don't mind that. There we go. Maybe 1 more time. There's a Temperance. Okay. Maybe 1 more time. We don't need this. We don't need this. Definitely doesn't work. Let's just open this Arcana pack. So we can Fool for a Temperance, or we can Death. There's nothing to Death. It's not often that you're doing a build that really doesn't care about Death cards. We could even save it, maybe try to get some more energy or whatever, maybe some more items. But I think I'm just going to take the money here. There we go. Let's check out this pack. That's a Fighting Energy, a Thunderstone to evolve the Pikachu, I guess is okay. But what we're going to do is take the Linking Cord. We only have 1 more turn with Kricketune. Then we can evolve our Graveler, so let's do that. Maybe we do a couple more rerolls. Nothing in water. Maybe one more time, maybe? Nothing. Okay. Let's just go next. Do this. We don't care. Maybe we do this so that we have fewer... It really doesn't matter. Let's just do... Oh, whoops. There we go. Unfortunately, we don't have a diamond card. So let's do maybe this. No, we want to keep this. Do this. Okay. So hopefully, let's make sure that this doesn't win. And it didn't. Okay. Still no diamond though. Try one more time. We have a heart, we have a club. So do it maybe like this. For a diamond. One more chance. There we go. There's our diamond. There's no need to sell this yet. Let's just play this for one last trigger. And no tarot, but that's fine. Now we have our golem giving us a ton of chips and some X-Molt. This is actually really, really cool. It doesn't really matter if we sell the Cricket Tune or not, because we're not going to be able to find it in the shop since it's a Safari Joker. Right? Safari Jokers means that you're not going to find it in the shops. You can only get them through evolution. So whatever, let's just wait until we find a replacement, I guess. Keep it for the temperance value. Let's see here. Tentacool, not what we're looking for. Puccina, not what we're looking for. Puccina is a non-bow with Muck, obviously. Let's do a little bit of re-rolling then. Here's a Planet Merchant, that's definitely not what we want. Just a bit of Molt is not what we're looking for. We don't really care too much about planet cards. We don't need the chips, we don't need the Molt. Let's just try one more. And one more. Maybe, I think the Magikarp could have been a good take earlier, but we're coming up on Ante-7, so we're not going to have enough time to evolve it, unfortunately. So let's just try these packs instead. What do we got here? Energy doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, we don't want to destroy cards, this doesn't matter. The Dawnstone could give us $6, I guess? Maybe we just take this Pokeball? Sure. I mean, that doesn't hurt. Not sure how many 9s we're going to be able to find, but okay. Could take this Metal Coat, add another card for the Muck. Right, maybe get another Seal. What I think I'm going to do, though, is take this Double Rainbow. Let's see. Machamp has 1, so he could use it. Muck has no energy used. I'm not going to use it on the Golem, because even though theoretically you could get 2 energies with Double Rainbow, it doesn't go above the energy count, so we would only get 1, so it's probably a better use to do it here. And let's go next. Hopefully we can find some 9s. That's not a 9, but that's okay. Let's just play the high card. At least we get an energy out of it. Here we go. So, maybe one of these could be a 9. Let's see. This is probably... it's a diamond, definitely, and it's relatively high. So, maybe one of these two. Maybe both. Let's try. Nope, that's fine. I could have moved the Golem over here so that we would have a couple of shots more, but 1 in 3 chance, we don't really care that much about tarot cards. So this is just, doing there because there's nothing better yet. I guess we're not going to take this blank since we only have one more round, and we're not exactly pressed for spots right now. So maybe do one reroll. Numel, definitely not what we're looking for. I'm not a big fan. Torchic. If I had enough time to evolve it to get some, although we need discards it needs discards, so we don't have discards, so never mind that. Let's just open these packs. Hopefully we get something interesting here. Maybe a Thunderstone to evolve this Pikachu. We have a Fighting Energy for the Machamp, a Terra Orb, maybe another Pokeball. I guess we'll just fire up the Machamp. What's in this one? There's a Thunderstone. Let's wait to do that in the round so that we can get the money. And go next. Boss here, face cards face down. Irrelevant. Okay, so we're obviously not going to use the Thunderstone on the 7 because the Thunderstone destroys the card, right? It doesn't create copies. It just makes new cards of the same rank. So maybe we'll just play it like this. Maybe it's... let's do this and make sure it doesn't win. Doesn't really matter which card we put on we use the Thunderstone with anyway. So maybe the 9, sure. Ooh, but maybe we want to use the 9 for the full picks. So let's do the Jack, okay? And there we go. Yeah. Okay, so maybe we can save up our money. But plus Molt isn't exactly what we need. I'll take this Thunderstone because it gives us one more card, I guess, in the deck. Build up our muck. This Emperor is pretty good. Let's maybe... Let's try this Pocket Pack first. We can... Let's see, we can charge up the Golem, I guess. Could use maybe the Dragon Scale, but I don't think we need that. Let's just... Oh wait, so first, use the Thunderstone. Sure, on the 10. Then use the Terra Orb, okay. 522 chips, not too shabby. Let's see what's in this Emperor. More gold cards, I guess. Sure. Here, there's nothing particularly interesting. Yeah, let's just spin the wheel, I guess. Not this time. Okay, go next. Let's make some more gold, I guess. Yay, gold. Here we go. So, let's see. Let's see how much we're scoring. Hold on. With a high card, 137. So, 3 hands gives us 400,000. That's what we need to win. So, I think we should be okay. Although maybe some of the bosses could screw us. We'll find out, I guess. Let's... Unfortunately, not the first hand anymore, so this doesn't matter. Right, there we go. Get some money. We still need to find something for this Vulpix slot. I'm also not super attached to the Raichu. Although it's giving us some money, so sure. Let's try this standard pack. Here we have nothing interesting. Let's take this. What about the Arcana pack? Nothing interesting either. I guess we'll make some lucky... Oh wait, no, we can save. I keep forgetting that. Alright, next is the boss. Maybe do a couple rerolls. Nope. Abra. Maybe if it had been earlier, I might have considered even an Eternal Abra. Since the idea is we'd be playing lots of hands anyway. But at this point, it's definitely not worth it. Let's try one more reroll. And nothing. Okay. So face cards face down doesn't matter. Let's make these some lucky 6s, I guess. Sure. I could move the Golem over here, but honestly, let's just get this over with. We don't really have a lot of value to look for. Just Vulpix doesn't matter too much. Sure, let's do this. Oh no! Should have thought about that. No reason to play that. Hidden card. Punished, but that's okay. Palette. I don't mind it. Good thing we didn't take the blank. Although maybe it would have appeared the antimatter, but doesn't matter. I'm happy with the palette. Let's try the standard pack. Oh wait, let's check the boss. That's not what I was looking for. So we're doing like 150-ish per hand right now. It's gonna increase a little bit. So let's say we get to 200,000. Yeah, that should be okay. Thanks to the Machamp, because we have 8 hands. 8 times 200, that's 1,600. 1,600,000. So we should be fine. That doesn't matter. Purple seal, whatever. Let's just see if we can find anything before time runs out, I guess. Let's check the Celestial Pack for Pluto. No Pluto. Okay, do a little re-rolling. There's the Magmar again. Ugh. Okay, Oddish, no. Maybe we could do this. The Fire Energy we don't care about. The Stone we don't care about. Let's just go next, I guess. There's some money. So turn you into a Stone card. Wahaha. And play this. Yeah, that's a pretty big muck right there. Okay. One more high card. I should have played just the 9, but again, tarot cards don't really matter for us. Let's see here. Nothing here. Just keep opening those packs. There's an energy for the muck. We don't care about the Heartstone. We don't care about Linking Cord. So yeah, let's just do this. Not dramatic, but doesn't hurt. What about the Arcana pack? There's a Temperance for a bunch of money, I guess. I don't think a Judgment is worth 22 bucks, so let's do this, do some rerolls. Don't care about type changing, don't care about these. There's a Darkness energy we don't care about. I would guess we could save the Twisted Spoon. No Moon. Let's try one more. Damn it. Okay. Let's do the hand before the last. Ooh, okay, so the King of Hearts, let's sell this. There's no 9s to play, so let's just get a free item. That's not what we're looking for, but that's fine. Let's just, I guess we don't have to sell it right now. Play one more. Yeah, 170,000 times 8, that should be okay. There's a Parasact, no. Clefairy, no. Maybe one reroll. I guess these are our last rerolls, so let's try these packs. Could take this colorless energy, I guess, at this point. Doesn't matter too much. Leaf Stone, not interesting. Tarot Orb. I guess I'm gonna use the Moonstone. Maybe get a level. It doesn't matter anyway. Didn't even get the level, sure. Let's try the Arcana pack. There's a Temperance, we don't care about these others, sure. At this point, there really isn't much that we could find that would matter anyway. Maybe another Temperance, sure. Do a little bit of re-rolling. I guess we could put the Skarmory in there. We have a couple of steel cards and the X1.4 molt that we get from the Hazard. Sure, it doesn't contribute that much, but it certainly doesn't hurt. Maybe do a couple more. Grass Energy, we don't care. Shiny Stone doesn't make that much of a difference. Let's just keep the rest of the money so that Raichu scores a little bit. Again, the real heart of the thing is here and here. Let's just play a high card. What does this do again? Oh, sure. Let's Moonstone. No, still no level. Sure. Okay, so that gives us 200. Oh yeah, we're cool. Let's maybe do this. And this. And this. And, oh, sure. Why not? There we go. Last hand. And there we have it. pretty cool to play with Golem if you ask me, right? Sure, the minus hand size, it means that you're not going to be able to do steel cards very well, you're not going to be able to do gold cards very well, especially if you get something like a Machamp that gets rid of your discards. But the truth is that Muck doesn't really care about that, and Golem doesn't really care about that especially. Right, you're just getting a bunch of chips. If you got a source that gives you a bunch of molt, you're pretty much good to go, right? And while it's sometimes fun to go play the specific hands, you know, you're doing the flush 5, getting a million re-triggers, that's pretty cool, especially, you know, you're doing high scoring stuff. But if you just want to beat Gold Stake, this is a great formula, right, for success, because it means that certain bosses really don't matter, right? Certain bosses are going to disable your cards, and they're going to hide your cards, but Golem and Muck don't care about that, right? Like I've been saying throughout, you can just play whatever, right? And you're going to get there. And we didn't even need that much extra, right? I'll copy the seed if you want to check it out down below. But if we go back here, right? This was doing the carrying, this was doing the carrying of the scoring, right? We did get a bit lucky with the polychrome over there. But we still had 3 hands to play, so that probably would have been enough. We could have also saved a bit of money to make the Raichu score a bit more. So yeah, it didn't take us much, right? We got the Machamp for the utility, more than the scoring, right? It only does a fraction of what Muck is doing. But the 4 hands were actually what allowed us to beat this run. If we only had 4 hands, we probably wouldn't have been able to get to 1,200,000, right? We had to use 5 hands here, so maybe if we had saved up some money to make Raichu a little bit bigger, but Machamp made that a moot point anyway. So I think it's a card that works great with this kind of strategy, right? Because you don't need to use your discards, and you get a bunch of hands anyway to replace them. So what I'm trying to say is, Golem, I think, is pretty fun. It's maybe not the most exciting style, but it's pretty consistent, right? If what you're looking is just to beat the gold stake, you can definitely do worse than starting with a Geodude. Anyway, thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this little run with Golem. And if you did, I would really appreciate a like, a comment, a subscription, or even just a hello. Anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Adios, Metagross.